Today, we are going to study value. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color. Value is needed to describe volume and form. To create value, we're going to use shading, a technique to create the illusion of form in space. The key terms you're going to hear: value, gradation, value scale, shading, and hatching. We will be creating value using a number 2 pencil, an ebony pencil, a pen, and color pencils. To get started, we're going to start with the pencil column. You guys will be completing a value study. We have pencil, pen, color pencil, and we use 2 different colors for the color pencil. To get started, we need to create a gradation of value from a dark to a light. On the side of the columns, I have marked extra light, medium, and extra dark. You will need to fill in light, medium, light, medium's there, medium, dark, and dark. To get started, we start with a number 2 pencil and we create a light value from the extra dark to the extra light. You want to be as light as possible. And cover the entire column. You notice that we have the lines. Those are there to help us when trying to create a gradation, which a gradation is a change, a gradual change. So we're going from light to dark. You always want to layer and start with the lightest. I've created my extra light layer. Now I want to create my light. So I start at the bottom and I put another layer of number 2 pencil. I'm not pressing hard. The more you layer, the darker it becomes. I do want to try to fade out these areas. You could see these lines right here. I really need to pay attention there and try to make everything even. So I'm going to go back over just a little bit. I'm creating a layer up until the light section where the light meets the extra light. Right now it looks a little rough. As I continue to add the layers, it will create a smooth gradation. Right, so I have the light layer. Now I'm going to do the medium light layer. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm not pressing any harder, though it looks like it. It's just the layers of the pencil. And I'm going to really focus this time on trying to even out those little areas that I have that are darker. So I'm only going up to the medium section. I'll stop there. I'm going to go back down to the bottom. I could check off medium light. Now I need to create my medium layer. So I'm going to layer up again with a number 2. Number 2 pencils only get to a certain darkness. So that's why we use the ebony pencil. Right, I've created my medium layer. Now I'm going to start using the ebony pencil. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm not going to press hard. Put my ebony layer. Got my medium dark. Now I'm going to go back and do my dark. I got my dark layer. Now I'm going to add my extra dark. I put a slightly more pressure. I still want it to fade. Got that. When we look at it from afar, it looks like it has an even transition. Notice that I did not smudge with my finger. The next medium that I'm going to demonstrate is pen. You will need to mark the side of the column. Extra light, light, medium light, medium, medium dark, and dark. And extra dark is there. You will be using a ballpoint pen, black or blue. To create pen shading, we use one tool. And we start like we did with the pencil. At the bottom, the extra dark, and we go all the ways up to the extra light. Pen's a little bit tricky at first. I always say do a little scribbling. Get used to using the pen, seeing how light you can get it. And once you're ready, you could go ahead and get started. So what it would look like, I start with my light. Think light as a feather. And I work all the ways up. I use hatching lines, which are directional. I'm trying to be as light as a feather. Don't worry about how it looks yet, the craftsmanship of it. I promise everything will get together, come together. I started with layer number 1, which is my extra light. I'm going to add a second layer now, and that's my light layer. I'm not pressing any harder. The more you layer with a pen, the darker it becomes. Created my light layer, now my medium. The more you fill in the white spots, the darker it will become. Got my medium light. Next, I'm going to go with my medium. You really want to focus on here and try to show gradation. Pen is typically the hardest one to get used to. Really pay attention for a smooth transition. Alright, I got my medium, now my medium dark. Notice that I don't change the direction of my lines. This is directional line, go in one direction. Got my medium dark. Now I'm going to try for my dark. I'm filling in all the white spots. That's what's going to help me really create that change that I'm looking for. And finally, I'm going to go down to my extra dark. This is where I start to clean things up. The craftsmanship of it is what we really need to focus on for the next few projects, is doing the best that you can and focusing on cleaning things up. Always remember, craftsmanship is in your rubric. I could tell when things are sloppy, so we really want to focus on that, and remember to always follow the rubrics. Every project has an assignment and assigned elements to it. Alright, so now I got my dark. So if we look at it from afar here, you can see it goes from a light to a dark. And so that's what you are going to want to try to create with an ink pen. Alright, the next medium that we're going to use to create value is color, and we're going to use color pencils. What I want you to do is pick 2 sets of colors. Try to go for a light and a dark, like I have a light green and a dark green. And then for my red, I used an orange. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you could approach color value. You could either do colors that are analogous next to each other, 2 to 3, or colors in the same family. I'll go ahead and start with the green. Notice on here I don't have you mark the in-betweens. This one's really about paying attention about the pressure and the sight of it. So I'm going to start with the green. I know it's going to be my lightest value, so I'm light as a feather with it. I'm going to go up to the extra light, and I'm trying to be even with my pressure. So I have an extra light layer. Now I'm going to press just a little bit harder, and I'm going to create a darker layer. This light green pencil will only go so dark. Alright, once you get that, then you can pick up your darker pencil and you can create your shading there, add that in. And I don't start off super dark. I add a little bit of a medium layer, and then start to press a little bit more towards the dark. You're still looking for that even gradation with this. Alright, so that's shading with 2 similar colors in the same color family. Next, I'm using adjacent colors. So if I wanted to, I can add a 3rd color in here. I can add a yellow, but you guys could just start with like red and orange, green and blue, yellow and green, yellow and orange. I start off light. The orange would be lighter than red. So I have my extra light layer. I'm going to press a little bit harder to create my medium. Now I'm going to add my red. I'm not pressing real hard with it. I'm putting down a medium because the red's going to act as my medium and my dark. And then for the dark, I'm going to go ahead and add in my extra dark. I'm going to do little circles here. See if I blend it. Alright, so when you look at it from here, you have yourself your color value using the shading technique.